once again to Conscripted, episode 45. We rejoin the party on the 27th of Andurum. And what was the party doing on this wonderful day when last we left them?
Sacrificing people.
Demigods.
And how did the sacrifice go? Did Aravos gain ultimate power?
He wishes.
No.
Forever cucked by the party. True.
Yeah, he's excited about cucking too.
Jesus.
All right. Well, he was already playing Doctor earlier, so.
Oh my god.
So, the six of you are still within the temple. I think five of you are, and one of you is out at the cart with Pierre.
I did specifically ask to be the last, but if that's possible, I don't know if anyone specifically cares.
Well, we still got to loot, so let's commence the looting.
Yep. I'd be search around with detect magic and whatever, just physical looting as well. Just try to see what's all in here.
So where are you looking for loots? Because there's no like directly visible place where this loot is stored.
That's why I'm saying, does detect magic ping anything?
It does not ping anything.
Okay.
There is a lot of stone in the room, though.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a compartment in the throne.
Or like behind it or something. He did have his weapon right next to it, so.
I'd check the throne, and I'd check the rubble piles around here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll search for secret doors or whatever, pushing on the walls, that sort of thing.
Okay. How are all of you? I can't change my volume levels at all. Mal, you're checking the throne. How are you checking the throne?
Kind of just sort of using my architecture knowledge to sort of look and see, like, okay, this compartment doesn't seem to be the right size, or like sort of knocking on stuff, and like, why is this hollow here? Kind of just looking around for what wouldn't make sense for a throne, because there really shouldn't be much hollow space within a throne, I would imagine. It's kind of just like a big solid structure, especially when I'm made out of stone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so, and you like specialize in making furniture, right? So you should. Yeah.
So I'm just like looking for anything like, why would someone have a gap here on a throne, you know?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception.
One sec, did not have my sheet up yet.
Okay, no problem. I want to see what the perception is, followed by the knowledge. Ooh. Still give me the knowledge. Architecture and engineering, right, is what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, nice. So even with your like kind of poor job looking over this, you are definitely sure that something about this throne is movable. You're looking at it and you're like, the throne has like all the things that you should see. There looks to be like some very structurally, the throne has a little bit more wobble to it than it feels like it should have. Like can pull on a little spot or do a couple of other like little tests, and you get the idea that this could move, but you don't see a mechanism for it to move.
Can I start sort of like tinkering on is that like a craft to like sort of tinker on the throne and see if I can find like a compartment by like tinkering around on it?
I might give you a craft check here. Let me jump over to somebody real quick. I want these things kind of happen in simultaneous nature. So who is looking at the rubble? Somebody said they were looking at the rubble.
That
The
would be what I'd
rubble.
look at next if the throne doesn't
Okay,
turn
I
up
thought somebody
anything.
else had said they were going to look at the
I was walking around the room looking for like secret doors and stuff.
Okay.
Is what
So give me a perception as you're roaming about the room. Ooh, nice. You will come across a wall that is not quite right. As you're like moving around, you're like putting your hands across the wall, feeling up some stuff, and you get to this point where the wall kind of pushes in a bit. Do you want to keep pushing?
hey guys, this wall kind of pushes in a little bit. And yeah,
I think there's something with the throne too, but it'll take a little bit more figuring over here.
All right, yeah, I'll keep pushing.
Okay. You keep pushing, and as you push, you can hear a grinding sound behind you. Very far in the distance and kind of upward.
I look in that area.
You don't see anything moving. But it's a ways up and quite dark that you hear the sound. The sound is like coming from the air in the darkness.
Yeah, I'll stop for a second and check in with the party.
Okay. As you stop, you can feel the wall starting to move back towards you, and you can hear the grinding sound in the distance.
Okay, I'll let everybody know what happened.
Okay.
Should I push it all the way, guys?
Yeah, I guess we should see what you're moving before you push it further, though. I guess I'd take out Ayun, sort of like take her light and sort of try and fly up towards the ceiling and see if I can find.
Yeah, you can see the remnants of a chain and that's hanging down. Just like a little bit of it, whatever was maybe previously suspended here, is like hanging from the ceiling, and you can give me an engineering check as you get up there.
Sure thing.
Ooh, you're looking around at it. You can't quite tell how the mechanism fits together. It's covered up by probably too much stone and age.
Okay. Push it a little bit harder, Zeke. Let's see what comes out. I can't tell from right now.
All right. So I'll push it in. I'll listen in case like he yells to stop or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll start pushing it again.
Okay. As he pushes it, or you can see the chain start to lower, very slowly down. And do you push it? You're going to push it to the end?
Yeah, unless I hear him yell to stop or something.
Okay.
Yeah, when it just looks like a chain's going down, I'm not going to tell him to stop.
When you get it to the end, it will like click. You'll hear like sound, and you can see a small hallway that leads back towards where the entrance is.
Okay, and is there still a chain coming out of it?
The chain like lowers to a certain point and then stops.
Okay. I see. So there's nothing on the chain. The chain's more of a rope mechanism, I would assume. Yeah. Okay. It's perhaps a safer way out if we don't want to go back out through the hallways. Maybe. I don't know if there's traps in there though. We'd have to be careful. But that would seem stupid to trap their own escape mechanism.
Right.
Although maybe it's a fake escape mechanism. What do you think? Oh, Cassius, where is Cassius? Oh, all right. I just say, well, I'm gonna keep searching, but this is a alternative way out if for some reason we can't get out through the hallway.
Okay. All right. Do you let go of the wall, or do you continue to hold it?
Yeah. I'll let it go.
Okay. So you can let it go, and it's stuck. It doesn't move.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and check. Is there like sunlight coming through there, or is it just dark?
It's dark.
Okay.
You can give me a perception though. It is dark, but you got your iron torch.
All right.
You see a little like a little push button mechanism on the wall as well. Now that you've kind of pushed it in, there's like there's an obvious point where like you could push a little bit on some stone.
All right, I'll mention that to the party.
Okay.
Hey guys, I see a push button.
Let me. I think I will finish looking at this throne first.
Okay.
Then we can explore whatever this hallway might be.
Yep. Give me a craft check on the throne.
I was gonna come over to the throne with Mal this time and see if I can help him out at all. If he doesn't succeed in his.
Sure. You're trying to work out, like, okay, how would this potentially fit together? You've got your engineering knowledge, you've got your knowledge of how to like assemble things with that engineering, and you're kind of putting this together. And you're sure there probably has to be some kind of pulley mechanism to move this throne. Even this giant would have spent a lot of energy trying to like move this throne out of place. But it is definitely out of balance enough that it has to be on some kind of rail mechanism, most likely. But something is like clearly holding this in place.
We need to find are you familiar with what the pulley is? It's how do I explain? It is a mechanical device that essentially helps create more force to those who are weak, like Erebos, for example. It should have like a wheel-like mechanism or a twist, like a knob. So everyone look around for like a twisting mechanism or a knob. It could be anywhere, but presumably somewhere close to the throne.
I mean, I'll lightly pull on the chain just to double check.
Well, you'd have to climb to get to where the chain is. The chain.
I thought the chain was hanging down in the middle of the room.
It is hanging down from the middle of the room, but it's still a ways up. You could try to climb onto the altar and do it.
Oh, you said there was a button up there, Zeke?
There's a button over on the wall.
Yeah, by where the wall that he pushed in is.
I guess we could perhaps start there.
All right, so push the button or try pulling on the chain.
Let's start with the button.
Okay, you push the button and the wall starts to move back towards you.
Okay, looks like it's a reset.
Oh, okay, I see. Then I will check the rubble piles now. I will see if there's something in there, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, after it's done, I'll push the wall back out to where it clicks again.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception in the rubble. Anybody who is going to look through it.
I'd ask for any help with double checking on this.
Yeah, after the wall, I can head on over and
Okay.
help with the rubble.
Cool. The three of you set to looking through the rubble. You're like moving these big chunks of rock out of the way. And as you start moving the big chunks of rock out of the way, you can notice that there is a very long, tall body that is laying underneath the rubble, like the bones almost preserved in this giant mass of rubble. Underneath it, with a few stones underneath where the bones lie.
Ra, get over here.
She's there. She's seeing the same thing you're seeing.
Yeah.
What purpose would this serve? Why would someone have a body like this buried underneath this rubble? Is it the same size as the demigod?
A little shorter than that. This is probably like size large, whereas the demigod was size huge.
Okay.
Would it be like a religion check or
yeah,
anything
give me a
to try to
religion
determine?
check. Ooh. So you can kind of piece things together. And whatever was probably on top of the altar was probably some kind of like extension to make it more cauldron-like, and that's what kind of layers in the stone. And perhaps this was a method of sacrificing individuals. They would be tied to the chain and then lowered in. So the chain, while it looked like it may have been holding something else up, perhaps the chain was actually holding a creature on the inside, and the creature was dipped into something.
Yeah, I'll relay that fun message.
Cultists are the most. Mal sort of mumbles off like he's not going to go on a rant about it right now, but kind of just shakes his head at cultist procedures.
But as you are looking around where that creature's body is, hold on one sec. It has some loots.
You can just post it in the chat because roll 20 sucks.
Yep.
I'll just copy it as time goes by.
What do you mean it sucks? It's great. It's a great system for putting text up.
It's amazing that even though I can type extremely fast, it takes 5-second buffer period to enter a new line of text every time. Steve would have to be like, there is 10 gold pieces. 22 silver pieces. Just turn into a robot.
So looking at this whole situation, it still has loot on it. You can still see like remnants of clothing. Whatever this was, this seems like it may have been kind of a rush situation that happened, and maybe something went wrong. Because the body has like decomposed here, trapped under the rubble, but it seems like it's only trapped under the rubble because it's just been there for it's only like decayed because like nobody's had the need to kind of clean up the mess that's been left here. It's just been kind of left to sit.
Can I fly up to the ceiling and make like a engineering check to see if it looks like part of the ceiling is missing?
Yes, you may.
Give that a gander.
Okay. Looking at the ceiling again with this new information, you will notice that there is something missing from the ceiling. There are part of the grinding, as you can see, there's like a set of chains in another part of the ceiling that have gotten stuck, and they're just kind of grinding against some gears that are on the inside that probably lowered down the center cylinder.
Oh, okay. Can I try and get that debris out of it?
Yeah, go ahead and you can just spend some time and like kind of pull. You're strong enough. You kind of pull them loose and break them, and the chains will kind of fall out of it. But they are no longer linked to anything. They just kind of fall loose to the ground. Whatever was anchoring them before looks like it's been damaged.
So this is a pretty impressive engineering, although I guess not that impressive given it broke. But there's a lot going on in here. But we still haven't found the pulley mechanism. Anyone found anything on that front yet? Zeke?
Nope.
If I was to hide a pulley mechanism, where would I hide it?
Give me an intel check if you're thinking about that.
I was going to say I might be checking these pillars, but yeah. Here you go.
Ooh, you get a thought. He had an axe that was somehow stashed in some kind of slot. What if the axe fits into something that works as a pulley, or that works as a lever?
Okay.
That would be something that he would be most likely. Of his followers, he's probably the only person that could pull it or do whatever is necessary due to its weight.
Mm-hmm. Zeke, or can you give me a hand with this? I think we need to put the axe somewhere.
Sure.
Okay, so I need to know if all of you maxed out on your strength. So let's say all of you rolled a 20 together. Who has the highest? And then after that, what is the total bonus with each of you contributing +2?
With raging and all that sort of stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's probably Zeke.
If someone is okay with me borrowing their strength, like Sphinx or Arvos or Cassius, I can get to pretty strong too.
I have a +7 modifier.
Higher than me.
Okay, so that would be a 27. What's the highest you can get to, Mal?
I did not prefer bull strength. I have siphon might, so if someone's willing to let me borrow their strength, I can get pretty strong.
That's a D4 roll for you, right?
D6 plus 3.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and if somebody bull strengths me, that's a +8.
Yeah, nobody's got it right now.
Okay.
Sphinx,
I have it.
If someone has bull strength, that's easier. Otherwise, Sphinx, do you mind? Can you sit down? I might need to borrow your strength for a moment. Is that okay?
No, that'll be fine.
Okay. I promise this won't hurt. This is very heavy. That was a very big creature. So I will try and drain some Sphinx from Sphinx.
Yep. So yeah, you'll drain 6.
I accept my fate.
Sphinx, what does that make your strength if you lose 6?
Oh, that's fun.
0. She's dead.
Oh god.
7.
Okay.
So then I would be at a +5, still not as strong as Zeke, but
okay.
So +5 and then another +2. You said?
No, each of you contributes +2 towards the thing. Where it's like the aid action. I'm allowing you guys to take 20 if you do it carefully.
I got you.
So Zeke makes it 27, plus 29, plus
28 because Argo said he had double strength. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So 28. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, 28. 30. 32. So you guys feel like you are just barely able to get this thing off of the ground. This axe feels like it was weighted literally to the strength of this creature. And as you like move it over to the throne, it takes quite a massive feat of your strength to do this. You get it there, you line it up with where it was. You can kind of find the hole where it is and kind of like lift it together into place and slot it down. And you hear a clicking sound when that happens.
Do we need to pull it further down, or does it appear something has popped out?
Nothing appears to have popped out. It's kind of leaning forward towards you.
Okay, so
it's leaning away from the throne towards where you guys had slotted it in.
Okay. Push it up.
Okay.
I think.
So the 3 of you will push and give me a strength. All 3 of you give me a strength check. Or you can spend extra time and take 20 and do the same thing you just did.
I mean,
I feel like taking the time to take 20 is probably the best route, but
okay.
Yeah, because figured that would happen.
Okay.
I'd roll terrible.
That actually turns out to be enough. Mal and Zeke, you push it with your full force, or with a lot of force, and you manage to get it to push back. And as you do, you hear a and the throne starts to move as the ground starts to shake. And Cassius, you can start feeling from where you are the ground shaking beneath you. Do you
like
feel
directly beneath me?
Yeah, like the whole ground below you has started shaking, almost like a small earthquake is happening.
There's nowhere nearby I can move, so it's not directly underneath me.
No,
there?
and like Pierre is like trying to keep the horses as calm as possible while this happens.
All right. In that case, I will attempt to assist him.
Okay, good job. That will be of good aid. As the throne moves sideways, you see behind the throne a horde of treasure. Platinum, gold, gems, statues, jewelry, and weapons, and various other collection of baubles and trinkets.
Verbose immediately turns invisible.
No. Cast web on the party, then go.
I'm going to paste it all in the notes, but I want to read it off as well. There is 331 platinum and 1,360 gold. There is roughly 1,450 gold worth of gems. There is 10,210 gold pieces worth the art objects.
Ooh.
A masterwork light wooden shield.
Oh man, this ivory drinking horn is where it's at.
A +1 longsword, and a few other things.
I dismiss my drains, their siphon might, so that Sphinx can stand back up again, essentially.
Yep.
And I ask her to sense if she feels any spirits or anything off in this room before we go into it. This like room behind the throne.
So look for ghosties.
Yeah, just to make sure we're not getting ourselves cursed or some shit.
You look in, and everything looks clear. None of the things kind of have any of the spirits that you'd normally see floating about them. And as you kind of look upon them, you feel a hand on your shoulder and say, "They have all been given an appropriate rest."
There's nothing else in here. They're all gone.
Now we'll take inventory as he adds it to the party sheets,
Mhm.
and just ask people to help carry stuff up to the cart.
The deity that this has a statue of, is this the one that we killed, or is it a different?
It is of this deity. Yes.
Okay. And the princess picture, I assume we don't recognize the princess.
One of you does recognize the princess, but they're not here right now.
Okay.
He would also recognize the royal crest.
Speaking of, do I notice anything happening besides the ground shaking?
No,
Like,
the ground
does the
stops
hole open
shaking
up,
after
or-
a little while, and everything kind of calms back down.
And if he looks like he has everything under control, I'm gonna try to go downstairs, I guess,
Okay.
and see if everybody's okay.
Yep. You can head back down a few minutes after the party starts taking inventory of the goods. Cassius, you'll show up and see the throne has kind of been slid to the side. And there is like a horde of things behind the throne.
Interesting.
Give me a perception as you come down.
Sounds good. Oh, do I have any trouble with any of these ghosts and ghoulies on the way down?
Nope, they're not there.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
You will notice the cup and the painting. You will recognize the woman in the painting. The woman in the painting was the woman that you remember being the partner of the spirit that took you for a while when you were in that temple. And the royal crest seems to call to you. You feel some sort of like camaraderie with that royal crest, like it belongs to you almost. All items with that crest should be yours. You know that's not really you that's feeling that. Like you can sense that that's like the spirit that the spirit mother has kind of helped quell inside of you. But you can feel a strong connection with it.
Huh. I'll just kind of see if Sphinx is having any reaction to any of this stuff, because she would have seen the guy at least, right?
She saw the guy, but that's it. She did not see your visions.
Okay. I didn't know if there were any of the symbols down there as well.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Interesting question. Does it look familiar to me? Well, I guess I haven't seen.
Yeah, you would have read about it, so
I read about it.
Yep.
But yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Does anybody know what these symbols are?
he points at the platinum cup.
Are they a language I recognize?
It's not in a language. It's like a royal crest.
Sorry, yeah, I should have said symbol crest. It should have been more specific.
That's
My
like
bad.
knowledge history, or
Knowledge history.
I do not have that.
Neither do I.
It's a pretty difficult roll.
If only someone had a
I
ring
have
on.
it, but I doubt I would make the DC for it.
Still give it a shot.
If only someone had a ring on that was giving them insane knowledge history rolls.
It does. I don't think it gives them insane knowledge history rolls. Is it knowledge history? I mean, if they had such a thing, is it a?
It's almost like Mal gave items to specific people that he felt were
Oh, yeah,
really
it
good
does.
for them.
It
And they
does
should remember
say-
that they have these items, or else Mal is going to get very frustrated.
Yeah, it's a +5 bonus to history check, to the knowledge history checks.
Well, I guess that answers that question.
All right. Well, do you want to make a check?
Yeah. Or just pop the +5 on there.
Woo! You want to use your tireless logic?
Do you have ranks in knowledge history? Or is that just a flat roll?
Yeah.
Okay. Damn.
I have 7 ranks in it currently.
So you've been picking up things from books as you guys have made several trips to different libraries, and you recognize that crest. Long, long ago, the country of RE4 was not known as the country of RE4. It was known as Stivene. Stivne. Stivene was ruled for some time by the Dwarven monarchy that had come to this land. This crest is the stone insignia emblazoned upon a shield the stone dwarven axe emblazoned upon a shield that is symbolic of this monarchy long past. But the monarchy ended with a dwarf that sired no children, and when he died, he left the kingdom to his advisor, a young man by the name of Dai Zo. Dai Zo spent a lot of time building up the country's forces during the times of the Great God War, keeping the country safe, and creating a time of great progress. That was until a group of adventurers had uncovered secrets of his past and some of the secret things that he was attempting to do. And they overthrew him and took the country for themselves, renaming the country in their own image, RA4. Or as it was once called, the lands of R4.
Awful.
The worst party ever.
Yeah, collectively, I can't really argue with you too much on that one. That's interesting. Out of character information, all things considered.
What is the inscription on the longsword in, Steve?
The inscription on the longsword is what? Do you have Ancient Common?
I do know.
Okay, it is in Ancient Common.
What does it say?
It's a very simple thing. It is the letter I. You know that this is a regular dwarven craftsmanship thing to do. They'll place the equivalent of the numerals, the alpha numerals onto things to identify the relative level of strength of an item. And the more the energy you put into it, the more eyes that you place on the item.
Oh, I see. So it
has no extra abilities. It's just a +1. Right. Okay. And that tells you that the inscription tells you it is a +1.
Okay, I got
you. If I'm not going to pick any of these things with the symbol up, but if I go near
one
them,
sec,
do
though.
I feel anything?
Wait.
Sorry.
1 sec. With that, though, do you want to ask anybody with an insanely high knowledge history bonus to look at this item?
At the sword?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming Sphinx is going to look at all this stuff after she's kind of identified this very specific lore. I'm like, okay, well, maybe you should look at these other things too.
All right, Sphinx, give me a knowledge history on the sword. Okay.
Goodness.
So not quite as high, but still really good. You know that anything bearing this ancient common mark, especially of dwarven lineage, this sword very likely predates potentially even the country. A sword with ancient common writing on it is the kind of thing that would have had to have come from the time where there were few denizens of the world. This sword probably isn't inherently from this country. This sword probably hails from a land far, far from this one. And that may mean something more about the sword. What were you asking about, Cassius?
Oh, if I not that I'm not actually picking any of the stuff up, but if I start to walk towards any of the stuff, do I feel anything?
Your arm wants to pick up that cup. Like you get like this kind of like twinge in your arm, like you know that feeling you get when you see chocolate and it's been a long time since you've had chocolate and you really just want some fucking chocolate, and somebody just left like a chocolate bar laying there and nobody's claimed it. You like asked about it and nobody's like saying it's theirs, and you're just like, should I? Can I? Somebody better pick up that fucking chocolate right now.
Nobody's eating this pizza. It's okay if I finish this off.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna stand on the other side of the room, away from those things.
Okay.
So I'm not as tempted, perhaps.
You can feel like a pain in the back of your head, just a soft pain, you know, like, but I could just hold it for a minute, you know, just I don't have to eat the pizza, but I could just smell it.
Self-control, never heard of it.
Go ahead.
Would this seems like some really ancient history stuff. I guess since I've learned Ancient Common, this is the first time that I've actually noticed that something is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've heard about it, which prompted Mila to sort of start studying it. But I'm curious, like, are these like, would these be considered like precious artifacts or like precious like history pieces that to a specific person might be worth a lot more?
Yes, you would know that if the rest of the items are even close to the age of the sword, which is a little hard to identify here. If somebody were like particularly proficient at knowing the value of things, it might help. But most of these items may be linked to around the same time as the sword, maybe a little later. And if so, like that would make the sword's value potentially worth maybe even more than what it would be on the initial market. It's just selling it to a weaponsmith.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You also think, though, that if that's the case, it might not be a good idea to drink the potions.
Yeah, I mean, we never drink our potions anyways. We have this massive hoard of Korean potions because we're all too anxious to like use consumables, apparently. Okay. So I'm gonna move. So what has Ancient Common on it? Of these?
So of them, no, not everything does. The
longsword, you said?
Yeah, the longsword does. I think that's really it. Not a lot of other things have writing on them per se. The Wand of Divine Favor does have some writing on it. It literally just names the spell on it as Divine Favor in Ancient Common, so it's probably about as old as the longsword. But the other wand, the scroll is in. I don't know if you picked this up yet, but it is in Old Draconic.
Have I gone?
But you could use Read Magic to identify it anyway.
Yeah. I don't think I've gone that way in the tree yet.
Yeah.
That's because that's the other side, right?
Yep, that is the other side of the tree.
I believe so, yeah.
The plan is, as Mel develops a character, I do plan to sort of go both ways, but I went to Ancient Common for now. Yeah, I do not have Ancient Draconic.
Can't wait till Mal goes both ways, and I can start having everybody hit on him.
Okay, so I have flagged then Longsword, the Wand of Cure Light Wounds, and the potions as potentially ancient novelties, and the rest of the stuff.
Wait, what? You mean Wand of Divine Favor, or because there's no Wand of Cure Light Wounds?
Oh, I dragged the wrong thing. Fucking roll 20. We do have a Wand of Cure Light Wounds.
Yes, you do.
I dragged the wrong thing
from a while ago.
As a backup in case we ever, God bless her soul, lose Sphinx. Okay. Cool. So So I would specifically then set aside the longsword, the wand, and the potions, and then the rest of the things I would just sort of put into our kind of like to sell chest.
Yep.
But if everything seems like done with here, the enslaved Cyclops are gone, I kind of want to get out of this place as soon as I can. I don't want to linger.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone else has any lingering.
You guys don't want to check the other rooms?
Well, yeah.
Wait, are there other rooms?
There were lots of rooms as you came in. There were doors to the left and the right along the walls.
Oh, I thought
They were opening and closing rapidly.
I thought those were fake doors.
No, they're
like,
actual doors.
Just, oh, okay. I had the wrong cannon for that, apparently.
And I mean, we probably want to investigate the altar some more, right? With the chain hanging down from it.
Well, it appears to just be malfunction. We can look, but the chain appears to just have been part of the ritual process at some point.
Yeah, I want to look.
Okay.
But you can look, of course.
There isn't much more to it. That's all there is to find, is to discover that like it was used for ritual sacrifice. You can see that there is, like, as you look around and you've moved more of the debris out of the way, you can see that this is an altar that has like lots of old dried bloodstains upon it. It's even been used probably more recently within the last 50 or so years. So some stuff is like dried on from a long time. Some stuff is like more recently dried. But so this thing's probably broke sometime in the last 50-ish years. It's a little hard to tell. Like, you're not a forensic scientist.
And I can't tell what was like, if it was just bodies that were hanging off the chain or if there was something else.
Yeah, it would be, you'd have to like, I don't know, have some ability to perceive into the past history of the things that were attached to the chain.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Nobody has any of that.
Not in this game. You have met somebody.
Oh.
Candor? Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that we had met him, and I was like, wait a minute, who did we run into?
Let me generate all the other rooms real quick. It's a lot of stuff. It is largely just going to be whatever the gold is, though, that's in there. Actually, can I do this as... Let's do this, and...
I'm gonna go change a diaper real fast.
Okay.
You know, refill my whiskey.
Then let's just take a short break, I guess. We'll be back in a minute.